Hello, I'm here top of Churchley, Primark, Bold Street End. This chilly, busy, not so noisy Wednesday afternoon. A few videos ago I covered Kensington, and in 2017 the issues, problems that community was facing were addressed in the Liverpool Echo by journalist Liam Thorpe. 2017, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what's happened since then? Well, nothing. The community's just culturally changed further and further. The MP, Paula Barker, she's said nothing since 2017. The councillor one of the councillors for Kensington and Fairfield, Liam Robinson, head of Liverpool City Council, he's another one. He said nothing after the article in 2017. He said nothing. So the problems that community faced and still faces haven't been addressed. And the reason I mention this is because don't be waiting for these politicians to address what is happening here in our city. It's never happening, ladies and gentlemen. They're just going to ignore the worries and concerns facing the good people of Liverpool. They're not going to address cultural change and what it's now, the impact it's now having on our city. Long-standing proud Scouse communities changing into different places. Scouse schools, children are becoming a minority in their school. Our Scouse economy falling more and more into the hands of universal Scousers, our adversaries. So they're not going to address anything, ladies and gentlemen, like with what happened to Kensington, right? Like I say, there was an article on it by Liam Thorpe, as I say, 2017, about the issues it was facing, except it left cultural change out. It was under the guise of drug crime and antisocial behaviour. It quite conveniently left out cultural change, which obviously was done deliberate, obviously, without a doubt, you know. So it's up to us, ladies and gentlemen, to oppose what is happening. We have to do this at election time, which we can. The ball is in. Don't forget, like I've said, we're the ones that hold the power. We're the ones that elect politicians, not the other way around, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's us, the public, the voter, that has the power. These politicians don't. We vote them in, and you can vote them out as well. Well, that's what's going to have to happen, right? On a council level, 227, on a parliamentary level, 229, general election. They're going to have to be voted out, ladies and gentlemen, because if they're not, right, then cultural change will continue to sweep across our glorious city, our cherished city centre. Scouse schools, Scouse children becoming a minority in those schools. Our Scouse economy falling more and more into the hands of universal Scousers, our adversaries. So it's in our interest, long-term interest, our city's long-term interest, to oppose further cultural change and to vote out the politicians who are allowing this transformation to continue. Because it's not going to be in our city's long-term interest. How can it be? Like I've said, there's that many different nationalities coming into the city. They've got nothing in common with one another, let alone their Scouse hosts. So we must oppose what is happening. If we don't, long-term, 5 to 10 years' time, this will be disastrous. There's no other word I can use except disastrous, right? And so, like I say, we must oppose what is happening. It's getting rather busy now. But I come down here, ladies and gentlemen, because I feel the need to. I feel that if I don't, there's going to be no one opposing cultural change, and these reckless politicians, they will get away with what they're allowing to happen to our glorious city, our cherished city centre, long-standing proud Scouse communities. Scouse schools, Scouse children face the threat of becoming a minority in their own school. Scouse economy falling more and more into the hands of our adversaries, Universal Scousers. So it's important, ladies and gentlemen, that I come down here and make these videos. Don't forget to do these at your own time, efforts and expense, right? Because if I don't, no one else is going to do it, are they? No. And if no one else does it, then these reckless politicians, they'll get away with what they're allowing to happen to our city. What's happening to our city is an outrage, ladies and gentlemen. There is no other word to describe it. It's an outrage. And if it's not stopped, like I've said, long term, this will be disastrous. The short period of time I've been here, you can see the amount of different nationalities, cultures who've got nothing in common with one another, let alone their Scouse hosts. How can this be anything other than disastrous? Well, exactly right. Disastrous is the word. There is no other word. Like I've said before, many times, if I've got this all wrong, then someone come down to Church Street and make their own video, do their own videos, right? Say, no, you got it all wrong, Joe. This is going to be great, this. Well, do it, you know. And those I rightfully criticise, Ian Byrne, MP for West Derby, Refugees Welcome, Dan the Diversity Man, MP for Walton, right? If you're so confident in cultural change, then take to social media, say, listen, take notice of that Joey Owens, it's so rubbish. Right? This is the best thing Liverpool's ever experienced, cultural change. Right? We need everywhere like Kensington and Fairfield. And one step further, like the East End of London and so on and so on. But they can't, they're remaining silent because they don't have a leg to stand on. That's why I stand here unopposed in words and deeds, right? That's why, ladies and gentlemen, that's why no one wants to discuss what I'm saying. They're just ignoring my videos in the hope I'll go away, which is not happening. Or they can waltz through to 229 general election, get re-elected, and then by the time the next general election comes, people are just demoralised, fed up, and just roll over and give up. Well, that's never going to happen, not while I'm here anyway. It's getting busy now, ladies and gentlemen. But like I say, look what happened to Kensington in 2017. It was addressed under the guise of drug crime and antisocial behaviour. Cultural change was conveniently left out, but all the same, issues were raised and then forgotten about. That's it, just forgotten about, ladies and gentlemen. Like it was a non-issue. That was in 2017, but in 2025 now. And again, it's just been ignored, put on a back burner, and to hell with the good people of that community. Well, the same is going to happen County Road, Breck Road, West Derby Road, and other major Scouse heartlands. The same is going to happen, right? We must make sure it doesn't, right? This is our city, belongs towards our children, our grandchildren, and all those amazing Scousers yet to be born. Doesn't belong to no one else, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, say no to cultural change, yes to Scouse pride, shout it out loud, Scouse and proud. Okay, thank you.